Good morning, traders. It is Monday, April 13th. I hope everyone had a great Easter 3-day weekend. Market has a little bit of a hangover today. We see that there's not a lot of trading action going on. We tested the downside early in the day, followed through from some selling that we had on Friday. You can see these long red candles. Eventually, the market started to compress in here. We could see smaller candles, which is a sign that a bounce is coming. We had the 1OP indicator troughing and crossing right in here. So it was time to get long. I want to show you some trades that I did in the chat room this morning, just so that you can see that these trades were actually done. And I'm going to go back to the 26-minute mark from the open. You can see I was long RAD at $13.84. I'm going to continue to scroll down. I told everybody I'm a little early. You can see I said Tesla looks good, CTXS looks good. And as we continue to scroll down, I'm saying that SHOP looks good, giving a little bit of an update on RAD here. And I'm going to get to my next trades. I just want you to see the timestamps. This is all handled by Rumble Chat, so Rumble Talk, so I'm not able to go in and change these timestamps. You can see I'm long Tesla, 598.34. You can see I bought some AMD right there. Long SHOP, there's my price, there's my entry point. Hit my target on SHOP, hit my target on Tesla, made $5 on SHOP, made $5 on Tesla, hit my 50-cent target on a $14 stock in RAD, took a 7-cent gain on AMD, got back into Tesla, and made another $5 on that. I'm just going to scroll through. I'm not doing this to brag. I'm doing it just to show you. There's my long on Tesla, sold that for $5 higher. That was at 10:16, and that is about an hour and 45 minutes into the open. So let's take a look at some of those stocks and why I was able to make money even though I was buying stocks and the market was going down. How is that possible? So we've got this nice sell-off. I could see the candles getting tighter and tighter in here. I knew a bounce was coming. We had that 1OP cross. Time to buy in here. Not here when the market has already bounced. In here as the stocks are starting to hit their low point and we can go in and find relative strength. Well, how in the heck do we find relative strength? What's that all about? I'm looking for stocks that are moving higher when the market is moving lower. So let's go in and let's take a look. We will take a look at AMAT, by the way. Let's take a look at Tesla. Let's see what it was doing early. So I'm going to do an overlay of the SPY here to make it easier for you to see. But you can see right out of the gate, Tesla gaps higher. It's holding and holding and holding that low of the day in here as the market is doing what? Going down. That means that sellers out there would normally be able to spank this stock down on that opening gap higher, but there were buyers. So for every seller, there was a buyer there to scoop those shares up, even though we were seeing a market decline. That is relative strength. It is a huge edge. It is what we use to make money day in and day out. And that's how Option Stalker is structured so that we can find these trades very easily. So there we start to see some signs, even though the market's going down. Boom, hit my first target, had the stock pull back. It was able to make a higher low and compress when the market was still going down. That's the gray line, the SPY right here. It's compressing, market going down. Buy it. Boom, release, target hit. In cash again, waiting for the next window of opportunity. Let's put up its SHOP. Same deal. Look at this. Stock is holding up, market down. Started buying the stock in here. Market's still going down. As soon as the market finds support, boom, gone. And what was my downside risk? Negligible, because there were buyers lined up for it. Even though the market was continuing to fall, buyers wanted in, and this was their opportunity, was to try and buy into any kind of weakness. So I had very limited downside. As soon as the market finds support, I hit my target. I'm in cash. I'm on the sidelines. Yeah, but Pete, I don't know, man. Look at this. You missed a whole lot of upside here. What about that? I don't care. I've got my target profit. If I can make $5 on a stock, I'm in, I'm out. I'm going to reevaluate. I'll see what the market does from that point on, and then I will decide if I want to re-enter or not. So that's how we play this. RAD was a huge winner. That was a trade that I got into early here, got in right out of the opening gate, had to take a little bit of heat on it, kept everybody updated on it during the course of the market decline, and I said, look, this stock it's holding up incredibly well. Lots of chances to get in. A lot of members got in on that trade, and then as soon as that market finds support, it's like throwing gasoline on the fire. Whoosh, gone. 50-cent winner on a $13.50 stock. All you need, you do 1,000 shares of that, that's $500 right there. Very, very easy. Even on 50% margin. If you're day trading, you can margin 4-1. So that's how we do it. Trying to take a look at a couple of other stocks that I was in. I was in AMD. That looked good early. Took a small 7-cent gain on it. I was in somewhere in here. Stock just wasn't doing what I expected, and I started to see some long tails above body, even though the market was starting to compress and bottom out. So I took a profit here. Could have gotten back in here, but kind of took a pass on that. GILD looked very, very good. Yeah, I suspected that it might take off. So here's what I liked about GILD. I showed you that also in the chat room. You get this big rally up in here. You get a pullback in the stock. Now they had positive announcement on the efficacy of one of their drugs for COVID-19, and still lots of clinical trials to be done, but they had given it to some patients who were in intensive care and they had a much easier time breathing. Long and short of it is this drug looks promising. But anyway, you get this big rally up in the stock and then it pulls back. It maintains half of this long green candle, tail under body, tail under body, tail under body, compression right in here. Even though the market had released, the stock had not yet released. I told everybody, I think this is a good entry point. You're probably going to see another one of these long green candles. That's exactly what's happened. So these searches are what tell us where that relative strength is. And right now, let's take a look at the market. Let's see what it's doing. The 1OP indicator is spiking big time. And if it starts to roll over in here, who knows? We may get a little bit more upside, but if it starts to roll over, we've got to be careful. We have to take profits on our long positions because we could see another market retracement. And then we wait for the market to come in. We wait for the indicator to fall below zero and cross, and then we know it's time to start getting back into long positions, stocks that have relative strength. So that's how we play this. It's really pretty easy once you understand that there are windows of opportunity, that you're trying to buy those stocks before they pop, and you're setting targets so that you're selling into that strength, you're getting back to a cash position, and you're reevaluating and you're waiting for another one of those windows to set up. And as you're waiting for that window to set up, you are click, 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 going through this top 5, top 10 picks, just like that, trying to see where that relative strength is. So let's see if we can find a stock right now that's got relative strength. I've told you I think that this market rally might be getting a little overextended, so I'm not too excited about it right now. One thing that I like to do is I've got the relative strength 30 search up. I want to narrow this field as much as I can, so I'm going to click on the dollar net change header, the column header. I want stocks that are up for the day. Ideally, I'd like a stock that's up for the day and is already through the prior day's high, because that removes all resistance. And I know that that stock has a clear path higher. So that's a way that I can do it. Is click on that header. Let's see what's up here. W. Yes, very nice relative strength. And I'll put this 10 SI indicator up. Orange line above zero indicates strength. Yes, would I buy it here? No, you cannot rush in. That is the move that you're waiting for. You want to buy a compression like that on relative strength right in here. But once that move is made, this is where I would be selling it up in here, waiting for that next pullback, waiting for that next opportunity. But yes, you can see the relative strength here. And that was beautiful right in there. The stock rallying with the market selling off. So I'll put it up briefly. You can see that right in there. See how the stock is grinding higher right in here? And you have the market falling. That's beautiful. As soon as it breaks out through that horizontal resistance point right there, it's gone. So W does look good. SYK, let's see what that's doing. No, this is bottoming out and it is below the prior day's high and it's sold off considerably. You can trade these bounces on relative strength like this. I prefer to find stocks that have already broken out. So last week, Thursday, SYK would have been exactly the kind of stock that I would have looked for. Why? Because there's the prior day's high. You can see the relative strength. Gets through the high of the day when the market is pulling back. Yes, that's the move I'm looking for right there. Easy pickings. Through the prior day high, great relative strength. Through the high of the day, hello. So that's what you have to look for. We just click through these charts. You find that pattern, you've got a trade that's really setting up well. Then all you have to do is wait for the SPY to provide you with one of those buying windows. I still do like the SPY. Let's go back here real quick and take a look at where our major resistance levels are. So this is a daily chart of SPY. Zoom out just a little bit. You can see how we had a nice cup and handle formation with a breakout through that SPY 362.50 level, and we've had follow through buying. I believe that we'll be able to get up to SPY 288. So why is that a significant number? If I put up the monthly chart and I put up my simple moving average, we'll use the 100 period. That is a 100 week moving average, not a 100 day, a 100 week moving average. I believe that will provide some resistance, and that is my first target. So after we get there, I think that we take a deep breath and we start to see if the economic recovery is actually going to happen on schedule and if we can get back to work the first week in May, second week in May, or is this lockdown going to last longer? We don't know the answer to that question. So we cannot be loading up on stocks here. We can be selling far out of the money premium on stocks that we really like with the hopes that we get a couple of more big pullbacks and we're able to scoop some of these really strong stocks on that pullback. Option implied volatilities are still very high. So this is a premium seller's market. And here you can see that the 200-day moving average comes in around SPY 300. I don't think we're going to get that high in the next few weeks. So tomorrow we get Wells Fargo and JP Morgan Chase are going to announce earnings. Chase came out and said that they're going to be tightening their home lending practices. You have to put 20% down on the house and you have to have a credit rating over 700. So tightening credit conditions are not good for consumers. So hopefully that won't last too long. So let's take a look and see if we can find anything else. You can see Win with really nice relative strength in here. But again, I don't particularly care for that type of pattern right there. BYND, let's take a look at that one. This is definitely the type of stock that I would be looking for. So this SPY overlay gets in the way a little bit. But that's what we're going to be looking for is a stock where you've got it through the prior day's high, long green candles, and if we can, let's go into that daily chart. Unfortunately, when I run my recording software, sometimes it interferes with the trading platform, and it looks like we're currently hung up right here. But BYND would be an excellent candidate. So I always like to give you at least one or two swing trades that I think will perform well. I think Tesla, TSLA, will perform well on a swing trading basis. It's through some major moving averages. So it looks like it has a chance to run higher. I would say Tesla would be good for day trading this afternoon, and it could even be good overnight and into tomorrow. The other thing I wanted to mention was AMAT, AMAT. I put that on a video last night that I released on YouTube to the public, and I suggested selling the May 15 37.50 puts for 80 cents. We were able to get filled on that this morning. That would be a 10% yield if that stock stays above 37.50 between now and expiration. the stock would have to make a new 52-week low for it to be down to that level. And I believe that the market is going to hold its low of the year over the course of the next month or two. I think that gradually the economic conditions are going to improve. So AMAT looked good. I had also mentioned selling that May $37.50, $35 put spread and trying to get a 50-cent credit for it. I don't believe that price was quite there yet, but I would say try for the next day or two and see if you can get filled on it. I think that also would be a very, very nice trade to get into. So sorry about the hang up right here. We're still waiting for the data to come back. I think it's the recording software that's interfering with it, but I've given you some nice trades to look at. I like Tesla, I like RAD, and I like SHOP today. I think all three of those will do well relative to the market. We should have a pretty quiet day after a 3-day weekend and ahead of earnings this week. So thank you. Please give this content a thumbs up if you like it. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on your notifications so that you never miss one of these videos. Promise you, I'll always have a trade idea in there for you, so it'll be worthwhile. Thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.